7, 8, 9, 10.
You guys got to work with a very good friend of mine. I used to do radio in Los Angeles. My mom knows him real well, but a guy by the name of George Lopez, a very good friend of mine.
You've heard of him.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, it was strange for me to see him in this role, and I'm glad he did it. How much convincing did it take for you guys to bring him on board and take on this dramatic role?
Honestly, not that much convincing. He, you know, I think he's various points in his career, and certainly now, you know, doing drama, doing it well. And he read this script, and you know, talks about an issue that he cares a lot about, and it touched him, and he was excited and really put himself into it. I mean, really from the cowboy boots on up. You know, he put himself in this thing.
Yeah, and he's just so perfect for the role. I mean, I know he's not a Texan, but being a Mexican American, he understands and has a grasp of the realities of kind of those people that kind of are straddling the border and have a foot on both sides. And I really thought that was a great way into the character for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I may get my Texas card taken away from me because I should have opened with this even. I'm not the only native Texan in this room.
No, sir.
No.
So Jake, are you guys both born in Texas, or I know Jake
Yes.
was.
Yeah, we're both born and raised in Texas.
Yeah.
How about that, dude?
Yeah.
I'm smelling barbecue and Tex-Mex after this interview.
And we got all
We
kinds
should
of
have had it all together. That would have been awesome.
we got all kinds of good Texas stuff in this movie. Good
Yeah.
Texas lines.
Yeah.
We don't live in America. We live in Texas. You know, stuff only a real, you know, blood in the blood Texan would know.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that people would say. I remember in Hollywood, well, Texan wouldn't say that, and we'd be like, "You had never been to Texas."
Yeah, you totally have been to
How much we
Texas.
love it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake, where did this story start with you? And I know that you wrote this story. How did this all begin for you?
For me, it started. You know, Connor and I grew up in Texas, but our dad worked a lot, and especially during kind of the formative years of our childhood in Mexico. And so we got to travel with him on his work trips. And we just saw a different kind of Mexico than a lot of people in the States got to see if they got to go at all. You know, as a kid, you don't really realize you're living a unique childhood because you're just living your childhood. You think it's normal. But kind of in my teens, I realized, oh my God, I'm 12 years old and I've been to Mexico 15 times. Like that's not normal. I need to use that. And then, you know, we've seen a lot of immigration stories, and I just thought it would be interesting to see one and flip it on its head and have somebody going the other way. What would happen if someone that is blue-eyed and looks like the all-American kid, you know, what if he's the one in the shadows and doesn't know the language and has to work for $1 a day, you know?
Well, you know, I watched this movie actually with my mom, and one of the things she said right when it ended, she goes, "I love the fact that I get to see both and appreciate both perspectives,"
Yeah.
which you don't really see in a lot of movies. So, Connor, this question is for you. What were the challenges to filming? Because I know, you know, Jake's character Jackson, he's on the run. He's falling down. No spoilers, but you know, he's getting beat up a lot. What were the
Part of our
challenges?
agenda was we got to beat after this kid makes a very tragic choice at the beginning of this movie, and it's sort of it's his and another father's journey to finally find each other at the end and hope that it doesn't lead to another tragedy. And our agenda was like, okay, in order for this kid to get to a point where we as an audience will allow him redemption, we have to kick his ass. He has to take, you know, a physical beating and an emotional beating, and he has to earn his way back into ours.
Yeah.
Well, I'm chuckling because Jake, your brother's directing. Do you think he took some things out on you, maybe from childhood grievances, or like?
Oh yeah.
Let's do a couple extra takes of that really dangerous horse chase. You know, maybe ride a little faster this time.
There were a lot of times, especially with the horse stuff and the horse chases, when I, you know, would finish a take, I'd be like, I think we got it. Like, I felt it. I felt good. And he's like, no, you know, I think you need to, you know, ride more crazy on the horse and be about to fall over or whatever. But it was all worth it. And I love the action stuff. I mean, I grew up playing sports in Texas, playing football, playing baseball outside all my life. So getting to do my own stunts and everything. I mean, that's a dream come true, and I love it.
Yeah,
Connor, go ahead. You were gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say Jake did a good job. I think on our first day when we were doing like really big time horse stuff, we had a double, and we just sort of like, okay, well, let Jake go until he gets to a point where he can't do whatever we're trying to achieve. And then when we have a pro cowboy here, and you just kept doing it, and you always could do it. And the guy at some point we were like, oh, should we like send that guy home? And do it all on your own. It was tough. It's grueling.
It shows. I even was like, oh, poor guy. All right, I got to close with this. Where did you film this? Because it really looks like. Did you film in Mexico? Where it looks? You did. Tell me about that.
Yeah, 100% of the. I mean, most of the movie takes place in Mexico, and we shot 100% of the movie in Guanajuato, which is a state in central Mexico, and it's a state that has everything we wanted for our kind of epic road movie journey. The deserts and mountains and evergreen forests and what they call like the Pueblo Mágicos, which is like the magic cities, the traditional Mexican towns with the pastel colored terracotta architecture. It was all there, and that helped us make a really authentic looking movie because there's hundreds of millions of dollars worth of production value that we're just getting for free.